And I'm WSA 9 meteorologist Topper Shutt. We are tracking Helene. It is going to intensify very quickly. In fact, by the time we get into Thursday afternoon, Category 2 on the verge of a Category 4. Look at this, 2 p.m. Forecast to have winds 130 miles per hour. Those are sustained. Now, notice it's pretty far west of Tampa, so not much of a problem for Tampa. We're more concerned between like Apalachicola and Cedar Key, and then actually even Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and even on parts of the Atlantic side, there's going to be winds over 50 miles per hour. So we get into Friday morning, so late Tuesday night. Look at that. It's south of Atlanta, but winds are still 80 miles an hour. Then it moves right into Tennessee and back into western Kentucky as it dissipates. It'll take several days to dissipate. But because of this track, to the right of this track is where you're going to see nighttime tornadoes and tremendous amounts of rain. And you could see a wind gust of 60 miles per hour in Atlanta. Georgia's going to be a mess. It really is. In terms of the spaghetti plot, each line is a model. That's pretty good grouping, okay? After that, okay, they're not in total agreement, but that makes sense because they do some weird things on land once they make a landfall. But that's really good in terms of where it's going to make landfall, between Apalachicola and Cedar Key. Now, we do have tropical storm watches across most of Florida up to the North Carolina-South Carolina border, and then this in red is actually a hurricane warning, Apalachicola to Tampa. And that probably won't change. They might expand that a little bit. Look at the rainfall. 7.5 inches for Apalachicola, but 8 inches for Atlanta, and even 3 inches for Nashville and Knoxville. So we're going to see some massive flooding through parts of the southeast. Not much happening with us. Maybe it sends a few showers our way, but less than ½ an inch for us. But this is where we're going to find flooding in the Tennessee Valley and much of the Peachtree State. I mean, really. All right, peak storm surge. Look at this. Cedar Key to just north of Tampa could be 12 feet. And even on the Atlantic side, could be over 3 feet. Kind of crazy, because as it makes landfall, it's going to have some pretty good winds, southeast winds along the coast of Georgia, South Carolina, and also northeastern sections of Florida. All right, so let's talk about wind gusts. Winds could gust 58 miles per hour by 9 p.m. on Thursday. But also, look at the winds over here, 51 in Jacksonville, 58 in Orlando. There's a tropical storm watch over at Lake Okeechobee. By 1:45 Friday morning, so late Thursday night, winds are still 55 Tallahassee, 67 in Jacksonville, 38 in Atlanta. By early morning Friday, pre-dawn hours, 22 in Atlanta, 55 Savannah, 60 mile per hour wind in Charleston. And still winds over 40 along the east coast of Florida. That's kind of crazy. And then we get into, say, just before noon, winds are now still 40 miles per hour in Atlanta, but still over 40 in Charleston. So we're going to see, again, landfall between Apalachicola and Cedar Key, probably as a Cat 3, possibly as a Cat 4 Thursday evening. Anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain from landfall up into Georgia. And then pretty strong winds, high-end tropical storm force winds, even on the Atlantic side, late Thursday night and into Friday.